Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. Good Friday to you. Welcome to the Larry Timko Show on 1070 NBC Sports, Charlotte County Sports Authority. Little glitch at the top of the hour there. Not quite sure what exactly happened, but we're on the air. At least I hope we're on the air.
Are we on the air?
I believe so. Give us a call, 941-206-1070. 800-668-1070. Listen on your iHeartRadio app or online at 1070NBCSports.com. Hal Sparks will be joining us live in studio here at about 12:15. Hal's performing. No problem. Hal is performing at Visani's all weekend long. For tickets, you can log on to Visani.net or call 941-629-9191. This guy is a renaissance man.
Hal Sparks, right?
Hal Sparks. Not only is he a comedian.
Is that like Meet Wally Sparks?
I don't know, but I think Hal's got a lot more on Wally.
That's just the first thing I thought of as a comedian. Rodney Dangerfield was Wally Sparks.
Yeah, going through this
Great movie, by the way.
Going through this guy's bio, this guy's more talented than Bubba Sparks.
There we go.
This guy is an actor. He's a comedian. And you know how much I love my heavy metal music. Mm-hmm. He fronts a heavy metal band.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit better. He's an advanced Rodney.
001, and they're good. We're going to listen to them in a little bit.
Rodney Dangerfield was like my favorite comedian ever, everybody. So just that's why yes, like him. I don't think there's anybody that was better than him as a comedian. George Carlin's up there. Eddie Murphy, of course. I love Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. As comedians, I think they're two of the greatest ever, too. But
Dangerfield reminded me of an offspring of Don Rickles.
Dangerfield was just great in everything he ever did. Back to School was one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Caddyshack's one of my favorite movies ever.
Did you ever see the behind-the-scenes story behind Caddyshack?
Yes, I did. I have it on. I actually have it on record.
That was his first
I have
movie.
it on DVD, my DVR, and I've watched it like 6 times.
Nice.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into business and start talking sports and whatnot, I just want to remind everybody that tonight, high school football, Jeff Briscoe and myself will be traveling to North Fort Myers as the Port Charlotte Pirates take on the Red Knights in a very pivotal district game that the Pirates must win. And next week, because hockey season is upon us, yay, Tampa Bay Lightning, and we got some news. So Dr. Hockey, Jay Calvert, will be calling in to discuss the upcoming season in the NHL. And Alex Reed moved home to take a dream job with the Norfolk Admirals.
Norfolk Admirals?
Yes,
Yeah.
of the AHL. So we have a new voice of the Florida Everblades. His name is Dan Corcoran, and he'll be calling next week so we can introduce him to everybody. And we can like massage his ego so we can get free tickets to give away to you guys.
There you go.
For the Florida Everblades. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, Hal Sparks will be joining us here in a little bit. But first things first, let's talk football. I meant to take the Vikings last night, but for some reason I didn't save my pick. So at the Chubby's Pigskin Pick'em Challenge, it took the Rams. So I am technically 1-0 after last night.
Hey, I'll be honest with you.
My defense, though, was horrible because my defense was in my fantasy team.
Yeah, if I would have known Marcus Peters was going to play, I would have taken the Rams to win that game.
He was questionable. He wasn't supposed to play.
Yeah, I heard he wasn't going to play, I'll be honest with you.
If
I would have known he was going to play, I would have taken the Rams myself, to be honest with you on that. With that said, I still probably would have taken Minnesota with the +7, even though it really wouldn't have mattered because it was a push anyway, because it was a 7. And it was 7 for everybody out there that is arguing with me that it was 6.5. It went to 7 yesterday morning.
Okay, I got video. Bill. I got 6.5 on mine, too.
Okay, well, once again.
But I don't know what the final line was.
I have photographic evidence.
Right.
I do. So if you really want to see that, I can bring that up any moment here.
And
I will show you the +7.
Oh, I believe you.
Because I showed you and Eric in studio yesterday.
Right.
But when I would have gotten on it, it would have been at 7. Right. I would have hit it at 7. That's where I would have hit it.
As of yesterday morning when I did my printout,
right,
I had the Rams at 6.5 with a total score of 49 points.
Right, and it went up, and the score went up to 49.5. So the score went up another half a point, too. So that went up half point, too.
Because the spread always depends on the betting.
Absolutely.
On how the public bets.
Absolutely.
So
that's why it's always moving. That's why it's always moving.
We could have said it was 6.5 on my show at noon, but by 4 o'clock that afternoon, it could have moved up to 7.
I will show you, and this is where I would have gotten on it, too, to be honest with you, if I can find it. But while I'm doing that, let's talk about the game.
It was a fun game to watch. This is, I think, a preview of the NFC Championship game if the Vikings can get back on track. Because right now against Buffalo and now against the Rams, their defense does not look as dominant as they did the last few years.
What did I say after the Buffalo game, Larry? Do you remember what I said about Minnesota's defense after the Buffalo game?
That they got exposed.
I think they got exposed, and I think I was completely right about that.
And I said the opposite. I said they were just looking ahead to the Rams game. Obviously, I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
You look more right on about them being exposed than I do right now.
Because, and here's the thing, and I saw what Buffalo did to them. Buffalo, literally, Josh Allen had 400 yards against. I mean, he tore them up, dude.
He only pitched for 160-something yards in that game.
Their total offense, though, I'm saying that the offense that Buffalo had, I'll look that up.
He had 2 rushing
Buffalo
touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown.
But Buffalo tore them up, man. And the way I saw it is I just know there's something not right with the Minnesota defensive backfield, too. Because look at how bad they were getting beat by Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's good, but... I mean, is he that good? Is he 186 yards, 2 touchdown a game good?
Yeah, but you could also say the same thing about the Rams. They gave up 2 touchdowns to a guy who wasn't even on the roster last week.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, who is this guy?
And that was basically, but that was basically like we talked about. Their defense is a little banged up, too, right now. Yeah. And even Marcus Peters, who played, was still a little banged up, which is why you and I both said take the over at 49. Even if it was 49.5, I still would have said, take the over in a heartbeat.
Yep. Dalvin Cook still looks hurt. That's why Latavius Murray basically held all the carries in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, there's weapons there for Kirk Cousins. They're going to be a high potent offense. Yeah. And I'm telling you, there's enough talent on this defense, so they'll get it fixed. Yeah. So right now, I'm looking at the Vikings. They're still a 10-6 team, in my opinion, right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're still a playoff caliber team. And you look at the division, they're going up against a tough Bears team. They're going up against a tough Packers team. I still think they're a playoff caliber team.
That was my proof.
Yeah.
That I was +7.
The pick center +7.
Yep. And
that was like the final line.
That was because the points went up. The points went up from 48. You see the points at 48? They went up from 48 to 49.5.
I had them at 49.
49.5 is what it ended up at.
All right. Well, I officially had them at 49.
And the line ended up at 7 too, because I looked it up after the game had already started, and it said 49.5 +7.
I don't know. I don't really care about the point spreads anyway. I don't play spreads.
I do because it's something that I look at, and it's when gambling becomes legal in the state of Florida. No, it will be.
All right.
I totally believe it will be. I think sports betting, I believe, will be. I think that the United States of America, the government, is going to legalize sports betting. Just saying. That's what I think is going to happen with that.
All right,
I think there's too much. They realize how much money they're losing.
All right. Our other Florida team, the Miami Dolphins, will be traveling to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. According to our Chubby's Pigskin Pick'em ratings, 31% took the Dolphins, 69% took the Patriots, and I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people think. Ryan Tannehill's been playing really good. You pointed it out the other day that Tannehill's, 11-1 in his last 12 games?
Yeah.
And in his career,
I was wrong about Miami, I think.
Yeah, me too.
I'm eating a lot of crow on Miami, too.
They're having a strong first half. I still think they wilter in the second. But still.
I'm with you on that. But right now, they look good, and they've got guys that are overperforming right now, too.
They're gimmicky. I mean, if you look at what they did last week, I mean, they're using wide receiver jet sweeps. I mean, their receivers are throwing the ball downfield. You know what I mean? They're gimmicky.
Who is it? I'm trying to remember the guy's name, to be honest with you. Give me a minute. I'm going to look it up. But he had a huge game.
Stills?
He came out of nowhere. Some guy I never even heard of.
All right. But I'm looking at this, and, Ryan Tannehill is consistently always throwing for 300-plus yards against the Patriots. His Achilles heel is apparently the interceptions. 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the last couple of games against the New England Patriots. So it's going to be a high-scoring affair in Foxborough, especially considering the Patriots have no defense. I actually like the Dolphins' defense better than the Patriots' defense, but the fact that it is Tom Brady, he's going to get his yards and his points at some point. I would not be surprised to see the Dolphins win this game and upset the Patriots on the road.
I'm with you.
I'm taking the Dolphins in this game.
Right, I'm with you on that. I actually, if you look at my pigskin picks, I have the Dolphins right now because I don't have a lot of confidence in the Patriots. And I'll be honest with you, watching the Rams last night, 2 things watching the Rams last night. One, I realized Jared Goff is really, really good. Mm-hmm. I think he's better than Carson Wentz, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the Rams did a great job of drafting that kid and where they drafted him at. I think they got
the first pick in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. I think they actually did the right thing. It's almost like I was thinking about the Tennessee with drafting Mariota over Winston. Did they do the right thing with that? I don't think so. I think Winston's a better quarterback, and I may have been wrong about that, but the jury's still definitely out on that. Mariota can come back, and let's face it, Mariota doesn't have the weapons Winston's had in Tampa Bay. Yeah. He's not nearly had those weapons in Tennessee, and now they don't even have a running game up there. So, but you look at Jared Goff, he's got the running game, he's got the wide receivers around him, and somebody that they brought in from New England. And you ask me right now, I bet you Tom Brady's saying, man, I miss Brandon Cooks bad right now. I bet you he does because he's all he has up there is Gronk.
What do you think his
Dorsett
issue is?
Has been garbage. I mean, they're still waiting to find out if Gordon's going to even play or not.
Right.
They got lots of questions. And meanwhile, the Rams with Cooks, he makes Goff even better than he was. And that now they have that legitimate deep threat to go along with all the weapons they have, like Cooper Kupp. which I think the deep threat opens up more stuff for Cooper Kupp underneath to where he can go deep, so to speak. Yeah. Can turn a small play into a large
Brandon
play.
Cooks is such an anomaly because this is his third team in 3 years. All this guy does is catch 80 balls and 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns every year, and I've never heard a bad thing said about him ever.
Ask Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Those are two guys right there you can ask, hey, do you miss Brandon Cooks? I bet you both of them say hell yes.
All right.
I would bet that.
We're going to take our first break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk some more football, break down some games, and possibly Hal Sparks and Eric Andreas will be joining us in studio as well on Charlotte County Sports Authority, 1070 NBC Sports.
Too soon for Christmas.
Welcome back to the Larry Timko Show on 1070 NBC Sports, Charlotte County Sports Authority. A little 0-1 for you. The front man for that band is in studio with us.
That's
Hal
right.
Sparks. How you doing, Al?
I'm great, man. Thanks.
Look
at that.
I was just saying, you're like the ultimate Renaissance man. You act, you're a comedian, you play killer music.
It's true. I want to disagree with you. I will say, though, that, it used to be pretty normal in Hollywood, like in the 30s and 40s, that you had to be able to sing and dance and act and do comedy and drama and everything.
Fred Astaire.
Yeah, or you weren't even a quality artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But then at some point, everybody bifurcated out into this like factory job idea of what art is. And you're like, look, you're a comic, just do a comic thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand if you do the other stuff. It confuses me. Mm-hmm. And as your agent, I don't know what to sell.
Yeah, when I was reading through you kind of reminded me like a Dexter Maynard of Tool. Right. This guy does everything but stand-up comedy.
Yeah, right.
He writes books, he does operas, he acts, he does comedy.
Totally. Yeah, and arguably, you could say he infuses, ironic and sardonic comedy within his music and other stuff. Because he's he's cryptic in how he lays jokes and stuff. And, Maynard, he changed how I wrote lyrics. That song you just played, Mad Season, actually, is related to how I learned to write lyrics from Maynard.
Oh, wow.
Which is he writes a song about the worst person he can think of. Every character trait, emotion, just disgusting behavior he can think of. And then he changes the pronoun to I.
Yeah. I
That's
thought Trent Reznor used to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like the Downward Spiral is about a junkie, who ends up killing himself in the end of the album.
But that's actually basically Trent. He literally Maynard takes his disgust towards another person who he has genuine contempt for, and then just inverts the pronoun and makes it about himself. And so Mad Season's about is actually not about somebody I have contempt for. It's just my first person idea of what it would be like to be Lane Staley.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Is that a tribute to Mad Season, Lane Staley after Alice in Chains?
Yeah, it's about the period he was left behind and the band was separated from him, and how weird it is for both him and his friends to try and contact each other. When somebody's going down that hole, it's that drowning man concept. How far do you go in the water after them, and how raw can you?
It's funny you bring that up because did you hear Jerry Cantrell's solo album after Alice in Chains? That
brutal.
was the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
I
was like, wow, I felt bad for Jerry. I was like, oh God, I hope he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah, well, he lived at Dimebag's house for almost a year after that whole thing. It was rough. And I sing with the guys in Steel Panther sometimes when I see them, and I've known them for years. The drummer and I are really good friends, have been for years. And I was in Vegas, and Jerry and Sean from Alice in Chains, after Lane had passed, before they had gotten back on their feet or even started trying new singers, any of that stuff, came up on stage to do a song with Steel Panther. They coaxed him up, and they were like I think they were just trying to get back out in public again. Yeah. And the lead singer, Michael Starr, he doesn't sing that stuff because it'll hurt his voice or whatever. And I was there, and so he literally yelled over me. He's like, "Hal, sing Man in the Box." And so I got up and I sang as far as I know, the first time they got back together.